And well, you are live, Chloe, and I'm live too.
Really?
Okay.
Why, why does my phone never tell? There we are. My phone no longer. Oh God. Excuse me. Sorry. Hi. I'm complaining because my phone never lets me like pull up our thing, and I only have one monitor. So like it gives me old word stitches from like November, and I don't care about those.
Hmm.
I care about the one that is happening right now. Hello everybody. I am Chloe.
And I'm Sandy, and this is
Yeah, we're at the
WordStitch.
intro now. At 4:03, we're finally introducing ourselves. Welcome to WordStitch. We are going to be doing a bunch of writing and we're going to be doing some chatting about writing. Today's topic is character building. But because of our massive delay in getting started today, which is mostly just because we were sitting around talking, it's what we do. We are going to write for 10 minutes and then we are going to we're going to start talking about character
Okay. Should we
building.
go for the right? I think we should just
Yes,
get
I
started.
feel like we should go now
Yeah.
before I forget how to speak English entirely.
And also so that we have more time to talk about characters coming up in 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and get that first sprint started.
Yeah. Let's get
Yeah.
this started before I just like send this right into the Hindenburg bath. Um, okay. By the time I actually get this up and running, it's gonna be 5 after anyways. There we go.
There we
I don't know. We're gonna start at
go.
4 after. We'll see you guys at 14 after.
Okay, we are both back. All right.
Yes, we are. Sandy, what are you working on today?
Fan fiction.
That's fair. I just got 262 words out, and it's been a while since I had a really good 10-minute. So I'm proud of myself.
I actually have this massive corner I've backed myself into in my fan fiction story. But I will say, since we're talking about character development, fan fiction, best place ever to learn how to do characters. It's the #1 training ground, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we can talk about that more on our third break if we have time. So for now, since we are doing character development, so Chloe, what are our questions that you wanted to start with? The 3 things.
So we're gonna take this break to just list off the 3 things that that we personally need in order to write our characters properly. We are both somewhere in the planter spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So neither of us are hardcore planners.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm probably doing my most hardcore planning right now with my big series. And I guess you're in that situation too, where you've got a fantasy running or a fantasy series running. So you're doing a bunch of planning for that. But in general, you're not a big planner, right?
No, I'm huge about the characters. I develop everything around the characters. But I think neither of us are honestly that big of planners when it comes to characters either. So I suppose we're both a little bit character rebellious. A little tiny bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But okay, so 3 things we absolutely need to develop a character. And this would be important then for a planter, right?
Not even to develop the character, but just to start writing your story. What you absolutely need to know to start writing your story so that you have a main character that you can actually work with.
Yeah, because when you're a planter, you got nothing without that, right? So
yeah.
You have to. All right. Well, Chloe, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
No, I'll go first. So the first one for me is the character flaw. I need to know what's wrong with the character. As I have mentioned before, I'm sure I write broken characters. So I have to know what their character flaw is in order for me to write them. I can write a great person, but I need to know what's not great about them, or else they're just going to be fluffy balls. And I want real characters. And I think that's a fairly normal demand, or thing that you need to write your character. For my other 2 things though, I need to know how they talk. I need to know whether they're talking in modern language, or if it's going to be more of a classical voice. And then I also need to know how much they swear. Because I swear a lot, and that is my default. And then sometimes I will go back and read, and I'll be like, that character is a nun, and she just dropped the F-bomb 10 times. And it's a lot easier for me to start with that knowledge and try to fix it later, because I will not notice all those F-bombs if I go back and read it, unless I literally search for them. And I get pretty creative with my swearing, so I will miss that. And then my third item that I absolutely need in order to write this character is a unique physical attribute. Just because I write romance. So I have to have one thing that the other character notices. It doesn't have to be something that's constantly referenced, but I need to, especially when I'm trying to get out that 1K 30 minutes. I need something that I can just always go back to, and then maybe fix it later. But I know that at least I've got this one thing that will be consistent. And that's my 3 items.
Okay. All right. So flaw, how they talk, unique physical attribute. Huh. So, okay. So I was gonna sort of overlap with what I'm going to talk about the next time, but you made me think of something that I do actually absolutely need. So I think my first thing that I absolutely need is I need to know their role in the story, especially a fantasy story. And I mean that in the sense of is this the princess, or is this the servant to the princess.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah. That's a very good point. Yes.
you when you said like, oh, because what if they're a nun and they're swearing? Like and I think
oh my God, but you have sisters who swear. They're not technically nuns, but
yeah, but that's so again, it's the role, right? Are they a mentor character? Are they I mean, and I think that drives how I build the character after that, right? But like I got to give them a place in the universe. And then second, I need them to have a relationship. So like I do plot my ships out way in advance, but I don't actually mean that. I mean like I have to have one other person who they either deeply care about, and it can be family or friendship or whatever, or somebody that they like deeply hate. So either like an arch nemesis or like a love interest, that because the relationship then is also going to define what matters to them. And then third, a name. So I know some people do this thing where they'll be like, oh, main character 1 or like brother 1.
Yes.
I can't. The names, and it drives me crazy when I read it in other people's writing, and I'm always thinking, but without the name, how do you know anything about them? Because for me, the name just totally changes them, and I no name that I can't. I mean, I wouldn't like not name a baby.
Those are really good ones.
I thought yours were really good. But it's interesting because like the flaw I think is also really kind of critical, right? Like if you don't know what's wrong with your character, then why do you care about them?
Yeah, and for me, like the reason that is absolutely number one is because I won't write it in if I don't already have it there. If I don't already have it there, the character is never going to have a flaw. And like that is the foundation of my characters. Like I feel like I need that flaw just to like know like what their struggles are and what their like that is the flaw is more important to me than what their goal is, because their flaw makes their goal for me.
I think I might do something similar to that as I'm like building a character. But since we're going with like really preliminary steps, so do you ever do the thing where you don't name the character, or have you like changed a character's name?
I've only done it once. Oh, I mean, so I have a couple times changed a character name. It's always been really early, and I don't know that it's ever been the main character. Like it'll be you mentioned relationships. It'll be occasionally it'll be that person.
Sure.
But other than that, or if I do a nano and I'm doing like crazy fast writing, sometimes my characters will just end up with new names, and then I'll have to resolve that later. But no, I've only had one story that the MC didn't have a name at the beginning. And that was kind of a plot point in it. Like that was deliberately done. You don't find out the character's name until well into the story. And it's not like I don't know. Sometimes they do that for like a really cheesy factor. But it's literally because it doesn't matter what her name is. Because she's dead and she's a spirit. So it only matters that at one point somebody like recognizes who she is. So I've only done it when it was deliberate.
That is fascinating. Yeah, no, I used to not like I'd change names way early on or I'd change them later, and I think it actually affected whether I could finish the story. Like if the name is changing and they're fluid, then I don't know the character well enough to write the story, it turns out. So maybe that's a preliminary, but it is 4:25. We've got to get back to our. Well, it's 4:24, yeah, but still.
4:24.
Yeah.
I got a cat looking at me now because I got all excited, and now she thinks that there's something exciting going on.
Oh.
There is, but not for her because she's gonna try to sit on my hands. Let's see. We are doing a 25er. Let's get that started. Okay. Sorry, I should have had this queued already. And this is just how I go. There we go.
Oh, we're right on
Okay.
time.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect. That delay was everything.
It was.
Okay. All right, we'll see you guys in 25 minutes.
we're almost back.
I think we're back.
Camera. Okay, we are back. Except
there you are.
We're not back because one of us is muted. Wait, try again.
Am I muted or
yeah,
are you muted?
No, it was you. Sorry about that. Crazy what fanfiction will do to you.
Sleep.
Yes. Okay, wait. So we're doing character development still. So I believe I promised a PowerPoint presentation again.
Yeah, I love your PowerPoint presentations. Your PowerPoint presentations complete me.
Okay, all right. So here we go. Let's get that thing up. So this is. Are we up? I can't tell. Did I just?
I like the fact that like I was eating almonds while I was writing, and now I'm like trying to clean the almonds out of my teeth, and like it stands out so prominently in the video.
Oh, does it?
Now your PowerPoint is up.
I think probably most people
it's
don't
weird
notice.
Though. Why is it?
I just fixed it.
Okay.
Okay, so for me, like, so we're going to talk about character sheets at our, I think, last break, but I have never found character sheets to be very helpful, and I don't think Chloe has found them helpful either. So what I do to really make a character like come to life is focus on desires and goals instead. So for me, building characters is PowerPoint. Why won't you work for me?
No.
Yeah, no.
PowerPoint, you're my hopes and dreams.
PowerPoint is supposed to be hopes and dreams. So where is the controls?
We did PowerPoint last week, right?
Yeah, we did, but now I've lost my control screen. Shoot. Oh, there it is. Okay.
There wasn't technical difficulties this week. She's doing her best.
I always have technical difficulties. Okay. So character building.
Some weeks are better than others. This is not one of those weeks.
This is great. Do you see that animation there? Okay, wait. So we're gonna do it again just in case.
There it is. Look at that character.
Okay.
Lady character.
Yeah. So this is your lady character, and I've given her a name and a role and maybe a relationship, right? So. In order to make her breathe, what I do next is decide what she wants. So PowerPoint provides many useful icons, and she can want an accomplishment, she can want a person, she can want to get somewhere, she can want knowledge, she can want justice, she can want to go home, she can want world peace. I could not find an icon for world peace, but that handshake in the middle.
Handshaking,
yeah, that's world peace.
I mean, I guess you want like the dove and the olive, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is our basics,
but not world peace.
Yeah. So then, but that wouldn't make much of a story. So, and it wouldn't give you much of a character. So it can't just be that she wants something. It has to be she wants something, but there's something getting in her way. And that's important because I usually have like an also. So I think the obstacle is kind of a plot point for a lot of people. For me, I also like to have like another pole. So I feel like there should be character, what she wants, the obstacle in the way, and then what makes the character interesting is like the conflicting desire that makes it so that obstacle isn't easy to overcome. Because, I mean, if the obstacle were easy to overcome, then again, there's not much of a story. So I think of it as step one, I want X, but Y is standing in my way, and thanks to Z, the conflicting desire, there is no easy way to remove Y, the obstacle, and get to my goal or desire. So that's my basics. And once I know that, then I move on to giving my character problems. Like comets or whatever you're going to throw your character. And this is...
I like to think that this is like day after tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
it kind of
is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Could totally be.
Was it Jake Gyllenhaal? I was kind of guessing at that.
There was no good, like, gender neutral character icon, which is really kind of disturbing. But I suppose you'd have to use the man. But you can think of that character as Jake if you want.
No, I'm just trying to remember if in Day After Tomorrow it was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Anyways, I get distracted real easy. I don't have any sort of ADHD at all.
None.
It is Jake Gyllenhaal. Keep going.
All right. So we're throwing rocks at Jake Gyllenhaal, and this is really important, right? Because you're a lot of advice is going to tell you. So you need your character to have like those desires, right? But like once you give them that, then you also need to like throw them into situations that show you how they'll react. And if you don't do that, then you don't ever give your character like enough free will to tell you what they're like. So I think if this is like, I am God of the world, I breathed life into a character, gave her something she needed, put a natural force in her way, and now I'm like chucking huge asteroids at her to make it harder and see what happens.
So now when you how much is like all of this done before you start writing?
No, sometimes it is. Like I have characters, and this is important too. So I know a lot of people write this stuff down. I don't always. Sometimes I'm just like imagining what'll happen if I like give the character problems. So I'll think like, well, what if, this character who's in my fantasy realm was, I don't know, at a roller derby, like, or
I love that.
Like,
I love that.
What if this person was suddenly at like an ice cream shop and her favorite flavor wasn't available? Or like, what if they met, some famous person and she had a huge crush on him? Because I think we don't know enough about the character until we give them like some random stuff.
Jake Gyllenhaal heard that.
He totally did. Okay, but so the other thing that I think is important for character development, I think you need to give them like help. So it can't just be that you chuck problems at them. You also have to give them like friends and gifts and talents and skills and allies. And again,
let me tell you, for a second there, I thought that was a whale with feet who was kind of like climbing up a mountain, and it turns out it's a brain. It's a head.
Yeah.
With two cogs in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. Hey, whatever you could. Yeah, actually, maybe that kind of leads me to the last point, because so to me, like the abilities in aid, this is another thing
really
that they
weird stuff in. Is that what your last point is?
No, so all of this to me is like this builds the character, and then after that, now I have a pretty good idea of what they're like. So my last thing that I'll do is give them stuff like physical features and personality traits and quirks. So this probably sounds a little bit bizarre, but like I don't worry about things like their birthday or their astrological sign or like their pet until after I understand them. Because like I might, okay, like one of my favorite characters, Nate's my like ultimate favorite. He has a gray horse. I couldn't know he would need a gray horse until I realized that he could not be either a black knight or a white knight. And all of that came from the other stuff, right? So
you went gray.
Yeah.
I would go with one of the spotty ones.
I think
also that shows you how deficient I am at horse knowledge.
Well,
spotty ones.
In fairness, I may have made Pepper gray with spots, but yeah, no, it's but the idea is like you don't know what the horse will look like until you know what the character is like, or you don't know like should they have a January birthday or should they have like a summer birthday? Maybe it's, I don't know, something other than what you expected.
To show you how much I focus, like where my areas of focus are, at what point do you name the horse? Because like I knew the horse's name well before I knew the horse's role in my last story.
Oh yeah, because pets are early character development, right? Like
tiger. Yeah. Like I'm about throwing those animals in. I literally like I had the name of the tiger before like the tiger even existed, if that makes any sense.
That is interesting. Yeah,
I
no,
just wanted an animal named Tater.
I
And then I realized that Tater was a tiger.
yeah. No, sometimes I'll be like, oh my god, I need to give the prince a horse named Pepper because that's the stupidest
Oh,
thing
that's right. That
ever.
is your horse's name, Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I do feel like that kind of stuff comes in after. I mean, it's all like development as you write, but this thing where
My
somebody
pets come way before your pets do.
it's 5 o'clock. I took up all that
It is.
time. So
It is. I
hopefully it
was
was
actually getting
worthwhile.
this queued up. I was being responsible.
Good
Trust
job.
me.
Good work.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're
So it is
ready?
5, or it is at the hour if you are in some other time zone. So we are doing 30 minutes now. We'll see you at just after half past. Go ahead and start. Okay.
Okay. We should be back shortly.
I am. I am on the screen.
Okay, now we're back.
There you are.
Yeah, sorry, my mute button must be doing wonky things. Sorry, audience. Okay, that was a good scene for me. You?
Good. Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on the same scene. But it's kind of a pivotal scene. I'm past the sex and back to plot. Which is kind of a good thing, I guess.
I didn't ask. Are you working on that reader magnet still?
I am. I am.
You gotta get that thing done. Get it out
Uh,
there.
yeah, I mean, I'm getting there. I am literally past all of the sex now. So there's nothing left to do except like finish off the plot, you know. So I am at 30,000 now on it.
I think that there are some like March Sizzler Steam promotions coming up. If you can get it done by February 28th, you can probably get it into some of the March freebies.
Yeah, I probably could. But that's not what's important right
That's
now.
not what's important right now.
What's important right now is talking about character sheets. So I believe I am taking the helm on this,
You
right?
are. So should I screen share?
E- e- Well, I'm going to screen share, and I don't know what you do on your
Okay,
end.
I'm gonna screen share. Use screen sharing. It's all a little complicated.
It's meta.
It's meta.
Share. There we go. Oh, look at that. I love that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a lot right there.
That was sharing a whole bunch of screens right there. I'm sorry, I'm like lost
Oh,
right now. You know those moments where you're like trying to do something real basic, and you forget what you're doing. Oh, I have to actually. Where am I? I have lost. Oh God, I've lost what I was gonna put up on here. Let me
uh-oh.
start making things small and see if I can just find it. Ignore all the 8 million things I have open. Um, this is weird.
This is like psychedelic. This is amazing. Yeah.
I I might have lost. Oh my God, I closed everything
Oh
that I had
no.
earlier. Okay, but it's okay because I can do this right quickly. I just need to open a new window. I don't know how I did that. I don't know what I closed on accident. Um, so anyway, so we're talking about character sheets. And you know what? I'm actually just gonna do haha, look at that. I type it in and like the first stuff that I look at is right there. So
Nice.
the thing with character sheets, I'm like giving hand gestures right now, like anybody can see it, and that's okay. Um, Most character sheets are really complicated. Now, if you are a plotter, this might actually be useful for you. I think they're way too intense though. So I just pulled up the
Yeah.
first one that popped up, but I promise you, they are all about the same thing. They just, um, the length can go anywhere from like crazy long to mind-blowingly long. So you have like the character's name. This one has the date. I don't know why you'd want to keep that. I guess if you do several drafts of your character. Um,
Or if this was made by like your fifth grade teacher, I think that's what happens there.
I oh, like you're saying a fifth grade teacher designed this
Yeah.
character
Yeah.
sheet.
Because like, why would you
Um,
put the date on your character sheet? What would like?
yeah. But like this is absolutely for a writer and not for a fifth grader because you would never ask a fifth grader if their character rents or owns their home. So like some of these I think are totally valid. I think it's valid to have a description of their home. I think it's valid to have a description of their style, although I feel like this is gonna pop up over and over again.
Oh,
Um, I think obviously as we were mentioned before that like pets are completely valid. So
well,
like a lot of these, like in the beginning, I think a lot of these are fine. Marital status, all of that. If they have any children, you should have that. So their physical appearance, I don't know. I feel like height and weight are kind of weird. I don't like when
Yeah.
they tell me exactly how tall somebody is. I'd rather have like a comparison or simply very tall or average height. Same with weights. I feel like I think body type covers weight, and like that was a redundancy right there. Um, Now,
Yeah.
I will say that like some of the good things with these, I do personally like having, especially with hair, I like having all of these somewhere saved, just so I can refer to them again, because I can forget a character's hair color and then and then they're apparently a chameleon. um, so there are some valid. Oh, geez, my phone
Yeah,
is
but
ringing.
I mean,
Um,
this is all good, right? But it's like filling this out would take, how long do you think it would take to fill this out for a
well,
character?
that's it. Like I have tried to do this before, and I have never been able to fill out more than half of these. And the thing is that like we haven't gotten to the craziness yet. The craziness in this one is where they want to know like what their morning routine is. Now, I will say, personal habits, any of these addictions, great thing to have because it's good to like have a smoking character, smoking and stuff like that. If that makes sense. Like, don't make smoking characters because they're cool, but
But if they
uh,
smoke, then don't switch them to something else. Yeah.
right, exactly. And some of them are good things to remember that I never thought I would never think about, but would actually be interesting. Any police record, like I think that's a brilliant one that I would never think to figure out before, and could come into play. Not necessarily to like affect their current life, but like, oh, this hellion story from they're meeting the in-laws or whatever. Um, but again, like this is just way too much.
I think it's a way to avoid writing. I think sometimes people put
I
these
did
up and it's
too.
like, hey, what can you do to prevent yourself from actually writing the story? I know.
Yes.
Enormous
Um,
character worksheet.
and the thing is that like a lot of these, like if I need to know them, I will figure them out as I am writing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I won't. Yeah, I'll figure it out as I'm writing it, and then I can just fill them in wherever. I do as I'm writing now. Try to keep a sheet of this info going. A lot of times that sheet doesn't happen until I'm editing, though. I will say though, this was something that I have always thought was a good tool to have, is the Myers-Briggs, especially when you're dealing with a lot of characters and you're trying to give them different personality types, just to make sure that like they're each unique characters. Myers-Briggs, of course, I feel like everybody pretty well knows what Myers-Briggs now is. Um, but I go to this site on it's Mental Floss. I feel like this used to have images on it and they're not loading now. But so this particular page has Myers-Briggs sheets, a bunch of them for different fandoms. So as I'm flipping through, you see like Harry Potter and Disney princesses, there's Marvel, some Star Trek. Um, where I think this is really clever is if you want, oh God, I clicked on the wrong one.
Are you sure?
Um,
What's
if you
Data
want a character to be similar to Data,
or Captain Picard? Yeah.
yeah, or Captain, you want to do Captain
Yeah,
Picard?
let's do him, the INFJ. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you want a character that's similar to Captain Picard, you can take him. Um,
Do
and
Harry
see, they do
Potter.
INFJ, and
Yeah.
then hop into another fandom that you are good at. We'll see how Marvel does. What did I say he was?
INFJ.
INFJ. INFJ is up at the top, and we see that Captain America, Jean Grey, Groot, and Doctor Strange are all in that category. In this particular one, we have more description for it, but it's nice because then you can kind of lump together these characters and see, kind of figure out for yourself. I went to a weird place.
What about the Disney princesses? Do the Disney princesses.
Disney princesses. This
Yeah.
one's a little weird to look at. It's a very nice chart. A lot of times the nice looking ones
Ooh.
are not the easiest ones to see. INFJ, is that what it was?
Apparently, Pocahontas is Captain Picard.
Pocahontas. I personally thought the
Okay.
Harry Potter one was good, and of course it's not loading.
Who's the INFJ in Harry Potter?
What was that?
Dumbledore? Is it McGonagall? McGonagall would totally be an INFJ.
Oh, here at BuzzFeed. There we go. There we go. INFJ
Yeah.
is Lupin. It's a little small, but it's Lupin.
Lupin.
So I just think this is a really clever way to see your personality types and kind of match your characters up by things that you already know instead of like muddling through figuring out what these definitions mean. And it is 5:42 already, which kind of so that kind of took up more time than I wanted to, mostly because I got lost. However, I did want to bring up this is actually what I do if I've got a whole bunch of characters. I make my own character sheet of the things that I find important. So for this one, I've got their name and their nicknames. This is kind of, I'm going to compare the story to Game of Thrones. Very different, but so they've got like a primary location where they're from. There's different types of magic. So if they are magic, it's going into this category of worth. When they were born, when they died, if they do die, if they have a job. I don't know why only one person has a job, but that's okay. A couple more do. And then all of their families, because this is a romance series, who they are going to end up with. And then if I've got some notes floating around, you can tell that like I'm just writing this for myself because one character just has a hardcore stutter because that's how I write things. But yeah, if I just needed to remember something about that character, then I would have put it there. And then like I've got other things on here that better, that have more details on it. But yeah, and then I guess I did talk crap about height, but
okay, so here's a question for you. So is like I get this as a method of organization, but does it actually help you develop your characters? Or is it just like the place where you keep track of them?
A little of both.
A little of both?
Yeah, it is definitely like my quick reference, but then also laying this out makes me feel better about the characters.
I mean, I think I keep like Scrivener files, and they're a little bit haphazardous. Is that the word for it?
Out of this, if you want to go back to woo, look at it go.
Oh yeah, we'll go back to our.
There we go.
To our break. But no, I don't know. I kind of think that like you do have to organize your characters, and I get like keeping track of whatever. I don't know where I am, by the way. There I am. Like I understand keeping track of your characters and everything, but I also think you could do too much. Like I think sometimes people get too caught up in like the charts and the description sheets. Just write the story, Like give them a few things, 4 things. Maybe, and then go and let them tell you what's going to happen. Because
I totally agree. I feel like if I tried to do more with my characters, then I would just actually like lose my characters in trying to do it. So like if I do need to give them a personality type, because I do have like a situation where it's a very large cast, if I'm only writing from like 2 people's perspectives, I don't feel like I need to do that much at all. Right. But yeah, I feel like the absolute max is giving them some sort of a personality type, whether it's that or whether I'm doing like the chaotic lawful sort of thing.
Also a good one. Yeah,
it's an alternative to Myers-Briggs. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
We're supposed to be writing though, aren't we? We are behind.
We are. Yeah. I'm actually there. Look how fast I was. No, come on. Why are you not sharing? I just crashed slightly. Can you see me okay?
We can see you just fine.
Oh, that's embarrassing because like
It's
oh
fine.
hey hi. Um
It's a good
yeah,
picture.
Google Chrome is not responding. I'm gonna
Huh.
go ahead and start this timer and then hopefully it will kick in eventually. But go ahead and write for now, guys.
Okay. Okay, we are back.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about this.
Well, a little bit of technical difficulty at the end. Oh, and I am still a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, I think
There
I
it
just changed you. Yeah, sorry
There
about that.
it is.
So we've done a lot of work on characters today. Oh, that box is not correct there. Our next write-in is not Monday, February the 4th. It is Monday the 25th.
It's corrected. Oh, I see. The text is wrong.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
The next sprint is the 25th.
Yeah. But okay, so and next time I think we're talking about world building. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll have gone plot, character, world building, covering all your bases here if you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chloe, any last thoughts on character development?
Make your characters flawed. Don't make perfect characters. Don't make boring characters. Make your characters seem like real people with real people problems. Even if you're writing romance and you're doing like crazy alpha male crap, they can still have flaws. Flaws. Give your characters flaws.
Yeah, I think my advice would be don't make yourself your character. I know that's kind of like a really popular thing to do because they say write what you know. If you're having trouble writing yourself out of your own story, I mean, there is the trick of putting yourself in as a secondary character, but so seriously, fan fiction, best place ever to learn how to handle that. Because, you take a character that you didn't create and practice writing in their voice, writing with their flaws, like asking yourself what their accent would be like, what they would find funny, and suddenly you're starting to learn what's actually authentic about that character. And that should translate into what you would do with your own characters. But I think that's a problem a lot of kind of like new writers have, is making their characters not seem like them.
Yeah. Well, and then you also have, this is kind of going off on a tangent then. It's kind of bringing up a new point, but then you've got characters, the tabula rasa characters.
What do you mean by that?
There's another term for that. I can't think of what it is, but I'm talking about characters like the main girl from Twilight is a good example of this because she has no character, but like in a way, like as that like the reader can insert themselves into that character.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I usually think of this character as pants that you put on, like you slip into them.
I support that. It's much better than like going with crazy old Latin. Tabula rasa means blank slate. It's a valid term for it. It's just a really weird, obscure term to go with, and I just couldn't remember. Mary Sue's. That is the correct term, right?
Yeah. But those can be good or bad. I mean, depending on what you want to do with them.
I think it's weird and copping out. That being said, of course, I'm referring to Twilight, which is like hugely successful. So,
and I should probably clarify that to me, the good way to do a Mary Sue is to make your character relatable enough that somebody would want to step into their pants.
Gotcha.
Did that sound weird? I think that sounded weird. That was a weird way to end, but that is, I think, what we should end on.
So what you needed to get out of this session of WordStitch is wear Mary Sue's pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no character sheets, because seriously, no.
Yeah, that was the most important thing.
That was definitely the most important.
Try it. Like, do a character sheet once if you've never done a character sheet before. Like I think everybody should do it once just to like suffer through it, or like maybe I don't know, there are so many character sheets out there that maybe we're just weird and we're in the like 1%.
No, we're not weird. This is a trick. This is for those of you watching, this is a trick. Those classes on character development that make you fill those 80-hour sheet pages out, I'm sorry, but just no, like daydream during that. That is my advice.
Fail.
They are like
there are only so many people. There are so many spaces on the author boats. That's a lie. Everybody can be on the author boat. Also good closing words right there. Everybody can be on the author boat.
Yeah, but I think the really good closing words are like those things that we talked about at the very beginning, right? Like the flaw, the unique character trait, the one relationship that matters to them, their name, what they really truly want. Like, pick some basics. Do know more than 10 things, and then go write.
Your game story.
Yeah, and see what happens. You can always fill in character sheets later. It's 6:01. We clearly like this topic.
Here.
Yeah,
we got like people to cook dinner for.
We do.
Like make us cook dinner. I got cats to feed. Who am I kidding? Which I guess that is kind of like cooking dinner for.
It counts. It totally counts. All right, so until next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.